Hi guys, Mr. Gogner here from Inspire Tuition. A number of parents have asked me to explain these questions on codes from verbal reasoning papers. I'm going to take the opportunity here to explain a little bit in terms of the background of codes, how they work, before I go into the questions. Okay, I hope you find this useful, but let me start by explaining how the alphabet works. So you've got the alphabet from A here all the way through to Z. Obviously 26 letters in the alphabet, and I've also shown the middle bit. So notice the middle bit here, there. Okay, I've shown the middle bit because the middle bit is important in the questions. It's quite useful for two reasons. One, you know where the middle is and do it quickly, and two, the speed. So if you're trying to get to certain numbers, you need to know roughly where the middle is. Okay, so it's useful to know the number 13, 14 is M and N. Okay, the other thing that it does, as well as knowing the alphabet and the number that relates to it, and that can be useful, but also this concept of mirroring. Okay, now what does mirroring mean? Well, mirroring is about looking at the alphabet from two directions, the left and the right, and seeing the middle as a mirror. Okay, so notice the mirroring effect. So you've got 13 letters on the left hand side and 13 on the right hand side. And if you look at the ends, sometimes you see questions saying A to Z. So what they're doing is comparing letters at either end of the alphabet. You might then see something saying C is to X. You might think, well, actually, what's the connection between C and X? Well, you'll notice that if you come from the left end, you get 1, 2, 3, the third letter. From the back, 1, 2, 3, the third letter. Call it -3, +3 if you want. So you're seeing a mirroring effect. Okay, so if you were given, for example, F, and you were using a mirroring effect, you'd count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letter, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letter. So we would say F is to U. Okay, so that's what's called the mirroring effect. So now let's have a look at the concept of moving forward, and then we'll have a look at some moving backwards as well. So moving forward. So let's have a look at an example. Just say that we had something like BG is to EM as OR is to, and you had to work out the code. So first thing to do is to look at each of them separately, each of the letters. So we're going to compare the first one to the first one. If it helps you, you can sort of, underline them as you work through them. And then if it helps you, you can circle the second one just to make sure you don't make a mistake. And then you're going to look at these. And whatever happens to the first one, we're going to do the same. And whatever happens to the second one, we're going to do the same again. So let's look at the first one. So B to E. So there's our B and there's our E. So going forward, it's 1, 2, 3. So we put that down as +3. Okay, so we're going to take the O and we're going to +3 here. So you can do them at the end or you can do them as you go along. I like to do them at the end, just so I can see the patterns. Okay, it's better to do them at the end so you can see all the patterns as you go along. So the next one is G to M. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, +6 there. So we put +6 here. Okay, so we're going to be doing +6 for the second letter. All right, so looking at the O, there's the O. We're going to add 3. 1, 2, 3. That gives us R. And then from the R, here, we're going to add 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That gives us the X. Okay, so that's the concept of moving forward. So let's have a look at another question. So this time we're going to look at DK is to H G as, and we're going to do T, W is to, and you've got to find out the code. So again, let's do this one at a time. So let's look from D to H first. Okay, so going forward, D to H, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 4. Okay, and then from K to G, this is backwards now. 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 4. Okay, so you're going to follow the same rule. So T, we're going to do plus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's X. And from W, we're going to do minus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it will be S. Okay, so that's another way of doing it. So you've got moving forward and moving back. Both of those are covered in that concept. Okay, and sometimes you can get a mixture of these put together. Yeah, so you might get some letters that are mirrored, some letters that are moving forward. What you've got to do is work out what the pattern is here. And then for this side, follow the same pattern. Okay, and sometimes you do get other techniques added to that. So things like extra letters inserted. So for example, question that we looked at earlier, just say that we'd added in here the letter or a number. So you could have added in the letter, let's say Z. And this one also had a Z. Because it's Z to Z, you would just say that was Y. Because the letter hasn't changed, you'd put a Y in here. Okay, so, and I'll show you that in the examples. Okay, so let's move over and have a look at some of these examples. Okay, so I've left the ABC and the alphabet all the way up to Z, and I've left the middle bit. Now I know you don't have that in your questions, and maybe you can add that if it's helpful to your child. Now here, notice what we've got. We've got Y is to B. That's the first thing. So we're looking at the relationship between Y and B. Okay, now again, if you notice, there's the Y, there's the B. It's 2 from the end here and 2 from the end here. So this starts to indicate for us that this is a mirroring type question. Okay, we'll test the next bit, put it in a different color. L to O. So notice there's your L, there's your O. And again, 2 from the middle, 2 from the middle. Let's look at the B. B to O. Sorry, B to Y, apologies. Now with the B to Y, notice again, we've got mirroring. So this whole question is mirroring the letters. Okay, so we're going to apply the mirroring rule to our trio. Let's see what it comes to. Okay, so let's have a look at the T first. Okay, so there's our T. So you can do this either end. It really doesn't matter. You can either come from the middle this way or from the end backwards. Let's from the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we go the other way, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We get G. Then we go to our R. So the T's done, move to the R. So there's our R there. There's the R. Okay, so again, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That gives us I. Then we've got R done. Our next one is I. So again with the I, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 gives us the R. Okay, similar to what we had before, R and I, the other way around. Now the final one is O. So O here, 1, 2, go back 1, 2 is L. So that gives us girl. Okay, so that's an example of mirroring. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, here you've got IIVM means desk. Okay, and it's got the code and wants to know what the meaning is. So let's look at these individually again. Okay, I'm going to again just very quickly clear what we've already done. It's got a clear board. Right, perfect. Okay, so let's look at the first one. There's the I. Okay, so for the I, we're going from I to D. So I to D doesn't look like a mirroring because it's on the same side. So we're going to go backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we say -5. Okay, now let's look at the I to the E. So again, I to the E. This time it's 1, 2, 3, 4, -4. Let's see. Now straight away my mind's saying, oh, it's gone from -5 to -4. I expect now the next one to be -3. Okay, so we'll just double check it. Here comes from V to S. So V to S, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, definitely following the pattern, -3. And if we need to, we'll double check. Now, if I was in an examination now, I'd be pretty sure that's what's happening next. Okay, so I'm going from M to K. So M to K, 1, 2, -2, just to double check. So I'm going to follow the same thing. I'm going to start with W and I'm going to go back -5. And then -4, -3, -2, -1. Okay, just change color so we can see this. So we're going to start with the W. I'm going to go -5 backwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That gives us an R. Then Y, we're going to go -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That gives us a U. So that's a -4. Then we're going to do a -3 for an O. 1, 2, 3, L. From a G, we're going to do a -2. 1, 2, that's an E. And from an S, we're going to do -1. That gives us a ruler. Okay, so that's the second concept. So we looked at the mirroring, now we've looked at numbers going backwards. Okay, let's look at the next one. All right, so we're looking at broom. All right, so sorry, I'll have to bring the letters back down so you can see them, and then I'm going to have to clear it just so we got a quick, nice clearance. So let me just clear it again quickly. Okay, so let's look at broom. All right, so broom, first, if you noticed, it goes from B to 2. Straight away we can notice the relationship is number 2 is the second letter in the alphabet. R to U. R, U, 1, 2, 3, plus 3. O and 15. 15th letter in the alphabet. Okay, O and L. O, L, 1, 2, 3. So now, -3. M, 13th letter in the alphabet. So you can see clearly that we've got the first, the third and the fifth are the position of the letters, and then you've got plus and -3. So let's start with D and the position of D. So when you do that, that's going to be 4. Okay, then we're going to take the U and we're going to go back, sorry, we're going to go +3 from D, from U. So 1, 2, 3, that gives us X. Okay, then we've got S, so position of S is 19. And then we've got T, and we want to go -3. 1, 2, 3, that's Q. Okay, 4x, 19Q. Okay, let's move on to the next question after that. Okay guys, so let's have a look at this question. Notice here that we're starting with 3 letters and we're ending up with 5. Also notice the fact that we've got a doubling of the letters here. So we're going to follow those patterns. Okay, so when you're doing these questions, there are 2 answers that parents get here. I'll explain why the answer is what it is on the answer sheets. But let's have a look at the patterns. So if we're looking from C to B, that's -1. So follow the D -1, that gives you C. They've doubled the B there, so we're going to double the C here. Okay, then if you look at the A to Z, now Here, when you go from A to Z, this is where the differences are. Now, you can think of this as actually A to Z could be a mirror, okay, because they're on both at separate ends. But what they've done in this question is pretended this is like a circle. So pretend that the Z is here, Y, and effectively this is just going in one big circle. So going backwards -1 from A is Z. So they've used -1 again here. Okay, so if we do the same from O, going back -1, we're going to get N. And then again on the T, if you look at the T to S, they've gone back -1 again. So they've used the -1 method, so -1 there. Okay, so if we go -1 from G, we're going to get F, and obviously we double it to get F. Okay, the difference is that, so that I believe is the right answer. Sometimes parents will get this, so I'll just go back and show you where the difference is, where we might get a slight difference here. Just 1 second, give me a second, get myself back on here so we can get this back a bit. Okay, so the difference happens here. So when we're looking at the A to Z, what we do is we think of it here. So this is, I'll do it in green now. So when we're looking at this A to Z again, there, we look at it as a mirror, A and Z. Some parents will say that's a mirror. Therefore, they mirror the O. So the mirror of O is L. Okay, which then still gives you FF. But I think the first one is probably the right answer, given the fact that we are following the pattern -1, -1, -1. Okay. All right, so let's move on to the next page. Some more questions. Hopefully you're getting the hang of this now. You're starting to understand how we're applying these patterns. Again, here you can see made. Now, if you look clearly, you'll see M, A, I, D. So the made is already there. So T, space R, space A, space Y. There's ours. Letters. Now look at what we've got. We've got X, Y, and Z. Okay, so X, Y, and Z. So I'd expect that to be the pattern, because there's no other reason. There's no real relationship that we can find between them. Next one. Okay, so on here, can't really see a pattern, so we're going to look at looking at how the letters are related. So F to C, 1, 2, 3, that's -3. Then we've got C to A, -2. T to S, -1. So you can see the pattern, -3, -2, -1, and that stays the same. So that's 0. So S -3, 1, 2, 3 is P. C -2 is A. D -1 is C, and the K stays, so we get pack. Okay, moving on to the next one. So on this one, you've got X to C. Straight away again, I'm going to look for mirroring. There's X, 2 that way, and C, there's 2 that way. That's a mirroring. Okay. S to H. So let's look at S to H. Let's look at the mirroring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another mirroring here. Z to A. Mirroring again, look, Z, A. R to I. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Definite mirroring. I won't even check any further. We know that's mirroring. So when we get a Y, which is here, we're going to have a B from this end. There. A V. There's the V. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. E. M. So notice M, it will be N, X, 2 in, 2 in is, so two, it's actually 3 letters in, but 2 moves, 1, 2. Okay, or you could say the third letter in, 1, 2. So that's C, and then we've got S. So here S, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. H gives you bench. Right guys, we're going to have a quick look at this question. I'll blank the screen ready for this question because there's a little bit more to understand here. Notice on these questions that firstly we've got some letters and numbers. Okay, letter, number, letter, number, letter, number. All right, so we'll have to relate those and make sure we understand them. And also be aware, I think the answer in your answer sheets is incorrect. And I'll explain why as I go through this question. So R to S plus 1. Okay, it's moving from 1 forward. So plus 1, and we can do it here if we want to, it helps us, plus 1. So what we'll do it as we go along. So P plus 1, there is Q. Then we look at this, we look at 4 to C. And notice the position of C in the alphabet is 3, but the number is 1 more. Okay, so we add 1 to the position of the character in the alphabet, and that gives us a number. So for I, our position is 9. We're going to add 1, so that gives us 10. Okay, so now I to H. So this I to H. I to H this time, instead of adding 1, is minus 1. And this is where the difference is. It's taking 1 away. It's going backwards by 1. So when we look at the T, we're going to do minus 1 rather than adding 1. So T minus 1 is going to give you S, not U as it's in your answer sheet. Okay, S. Okay, next one, the 16 and the O. Now notice the O, position in the letter, is 15. So again, we've added 1 to the number. So we're going to look at C, and the position of C in the alphabet is 3, so we're going to need 4 here. And finally, we've got N here going to O. N to O again is plus 1. So we're going to go H plus 1, which is going to give us I. Okay. Yes, the number of characters and letters is different to the ones that we've got on pitch, but you still follow the same rule. Okay, hope that helps. Moving on. Hopefully you're getting the hang of it now. Notice here again we've got the ship. S-H-I-P. We've added A, B and C in it. Okay, so we're going to leave the Y, leave a space A, leave a space C, leave a space H, and leave a space T, and we're going to add in A, B, C and D. Easy as that. Okay, so working again on this one, next one. So notice again you've got a C and X, look like they're either side. You'll see your C, you'll see your X. You'll notice again either 2 moves or 3 letters from the right, or 2 moves and 3 letters from the left. So it's mirroring again. So if you want to do this, you can do it one at a time if it helps you. So you've got N, mirror the N, is M. R to I. So again, I always look for the mirror first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, definitely seeing a mirror again. So the mirror of E, you can either go, as I said, left to right, doesn't really matter. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4 in, 1, 2, 3, 4 in, which is V. Okay, so that's that one done. The S, so we'll check the third one. We're going to go from R to L. Sorry, O to L. O to L. So again, there's a mirror there. There's your O, 1, 2. There's your L, 1, 2. So it's mirroring again. So all of these are going to mirror. So I'm going to carry on mirroring now. So this is your S. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. H. And finally the T will mirror, so from here in the middle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, G. Okay, so that's all of the questions. I hope that's been helpful. I hope that's made it a little bit clearer for you. And obviously if I get other questions, I shall be doing something similar to help you in the future. Okay, thank you.